It's got a little bit of wood, not too much, and not that much alcohol. 46%, which is not that bad for a 15-year-old bourbon. Hi, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of an American. And today I have James E. Pepper 15-year-old bourbon. I haven't found many videos about this online, to be honest. Zero. I found a lot of videos about James E. Pepper, the rye, the bourbon, the barrel strength, but nothing about the 15-year-old bourbon. So here we go. WhiskyJason here. My job is to test and review whiskeys which are rare and exotic. 15-year-old James E. Pepper does constitute that. This was not made in Louisville, Kentucky in the fall or wherever you will view this of 2017. They are still erecting the James E. Pepper distillery on that old property there in Louisville. And 1958 they closed the doors, and somehow almost 60 years later Georgetown Trading Company actually bought the rights for James E. Pepper. They produced something called Pow Wow rye. I tried it. It's almost like a gin rye mix, not my thing. And I've tried the bourbon, the rye, the barrel strength. Everything so far has been hot and interesting. It all comes from MGP, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Also this. The price of the rye, at least over here in Europe, let's just say dollars. I found the 15-year-old rye for about $160 online. And I found the James E. Pepper bourbon 15-year-old for about $120 online, which I still think is very, very expensive. You're wondering why I don't have my normal t-shirt on. This is a tribute to the Scotch gods, Scotch test dummies. Test it. I even have my nice little coin here, which I forgot to put on there. Actually, I have two coins. I have the Scotch it, you Scotch gods, test it. If you've never watched Scotch test dummies, please do. I've done a live tasting with them, me in Germany, them in Kansas, and we did German whiskeys, which was really, really interesting. They did 12 hours of boom, and I actually won as a Patreon supporter a nice little coin. And these coins, they're now batch 2, at least they were in the fall of 2017, are great. They come exactly the right size here for your Glencairn glass, and then you can sniff it, and then you can put it back on and keep the vapors in there. So, let's see what it says. Ooh, interesting. I would say this is a high rye. I didn't research it, I don't know, but it is a bourbon. I would say at least 15% rye is in there. Maybe 10% or even 15% malted barley, and the rest will be corn. It's 15-year-old, which means it's been laying around someplace for a very, very long time. I watched an episode a few months ago about on Bourbon Pursuit, a wonderful podcast from Louisville, Kentucky. The guy that did it interviewed the founder of Michter's. Same story, basically. He and the college student, he's now in the 50s, used to sell Michter's from Pennsylvania as a way to get through college. He studied law, he did his bar exam, he's a real lawyer. And when he found out that he has a love for bourbon and for whiskey, he decided to buy the rights for Michter's because no one wanted to use them. Exactly the same thing with James E. Pepper. I have, for example, a bottle here of something called Old Pepper. They can no longer call it James E. Pepper because they don't have the brand. This is actually made in Lexington, Kentucky. Product of Kentucky, produced for Royal Springs Distillery, Lexington. And Old Pepper is a brand you can have, but James E. Pepper now belongs to the Georgetown Trading Company. And also the same thing happened here with Michter's, that they just went to MGP more or less and said, hey, we would like to have some old rye whiskeys. And you got anything laying around over 10 years old? And they were like, here, you can have it. And they actually had 20-year-old bourbon as well as a 20-year-old rye. The stuff was stellar. It was fantastic. And so somehow the guys here from Georgetown Trading Company also got their hands on some 15-year-old. And this is what we have in the glass. I'm still learning how to use the coin, by the way. It's a nice smelling wine. It's a nice smelling whiskey. That's something I'm going to leave in there. I like the nose. I could actually do this for the next 10 minutes. Just enjoy it. It's got some cotton candy in there. It's got some clove in there. It's got some old leather in there. It's got some pecan in there even. It's got a little bit of wood, not too much, and not that much alcohol. 46%, which is not that bad for a 15-year-old bourbon. I'm sure they put some water in it. It's nowhere near barrel strength, or cask strength, as we say over here in Europe. It's barrel proof, isn't it? Yeah, cask strength and barrel proof. Ooh, my Elijah Craig bottle of Wow, barrel proof. I got the 69.9%. That was good stuff, or 69.7%. Let's try it. Not really that hot for 46%. There's a little bit of pepper in there, a little bit of sweetness. Now, the aftertaste, the entire thing, that's what kind of bothers me at the moment, actually. It comes in my mouth. I do this a lot with my hand, by the way, if you haven't watched my videos. Comes in my mouth, and it does this. Just stays at that level. There's no transitions, there's no change. The entire thing is just one single experience, as if someone's humming a note, da, and nothing else happens. There's no symphony, no orchestra, no transitions, no change of any way. That's what I love about, to name another source whiskey, Smooth Ambler Old Scout Rye, 7-year-old. This stuff is fantastic. And there's just like 3 or 4 different transitions in your mouth. Also for MGP in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, by the way. This just goes in. It stays the same. It's not bad. It's good. I'm going to give it a B-. A 15-year-old bourbon, a B-. A $120 bourbon, a B-. Sorry, WhiskyJason here. Whiskey from the viewpoint of American in Germany. That's what I'm going to give it. It's okay. Maybe you say, wow, that's what I want. I want an older bourbon that just comes in them and just goes the entire time like this. It doesn't feel like it's 15 years old. The Elijah Craig 12-year-old would actually be better if I'm to be totally honest. I said it, I have to do it. Alright, so it's one of those things. Have you ever seen the Whiskey Vault? So Daniel and Rex is always mooching his whiskey. And every time Daniel mentions something, it's kind of like Rex goes, I want it, and Daniel has to pull it out. So I pulled out my Elijah Craig 12. Look, the old bottle, 12. Not the new bottle, not the NAS stuff, but the old bottle. And I'm going to bet you that this actually is going to taste better. It's not going to smell better. This is all live, by the way. I do all my shows live here. So, I love the smell of this stuff. This is really, really good smell. I'm going to give it a 1- for nose, but I'm going to give it a 2- for the mouth. Yeah, see, this smells a little bit different. There's more oak, and there's a little tad bit of water. 47%. 46%. I didn't know it was 46. Really, 47%? I thought it was 46 as well. I'm still learning. I'm sorry. 450 videos in German. I don't know, 30 some videos in English, maybe even 40 by the way, by the time I show this. And I still don't know my ABVs for my different alcohols. And I love Elijah Craig. One of the best bourbons for value, money for value, that you can buy. Beginning and or even, the only thing that tops it would be, for me, I guess maybe the Eagle Rare. For that price. There are a bit more tannins in here than here. Oh, see, I got my transitions. It comes in, it goes up, it goes down, it goes back up. It goes, so it comes in, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. So I like this. This is, I'm at the end. Oh, nice, 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 nice. A little bit of water. It was a tiny little jump there. A little bit of alcohol came in there for half of a second, then it disappeared. But even afterwards, it just stays the same. It's just so constant. As I said, it's oh. This is la li 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 la 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 la. Whoa, much better. I don't know what it's cost in the States at the moment. Under $30, $120. Don't. My personal opinion, Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of American. James E. Pepper, 15-year-old bourbon whiskey, is not worth its money. If you get a sample of it, try it. If you want to take a shot of it someplace in a bar, do it. But buy the entire bottle, no. Don't do it unless you really, really love this stuff. And it's anyways MGP Lawrenceburg, Indiana stuff. Maybe you can go find some Smooth Ambler, Old Scout. They were from MGP also. And so on and so on and so on. Alright, good. Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany. Saluting the Scotch test dummies. Test it, you Scotch gods. And I just love their shows, and hopefully you like my shows. If you have any comments, please write them down below. If you've tried the James E. Pepper, 15-year-old, please write down below what was your opinion of it, or you've tried any other James E. Pepper products. Maybe you love, like I do, the Elijah Craig. Maybe you hate it, that they went to a non-age statement. Write that down as well below, and recommend me to your bourbon friends that like to drink things. I will be continuing to test a lot of different things here, and then one day I'm going to move on over to Germany and test a lot of German whiskeys as well, but that's going to be 2018 by the time I make my way there. Alright, thank you very much for watching. All the best, goodbye, and see you soon.